Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and colleagues, Nisabula Binaka, a very warm welcome to this stakeholder meeting on climate change and disaster displacement in the Pacific. I very much regret not being able to join you today in Suva. Nevertheless, let me tell you how important this event is for us, the Platform on Disaster Displacement. We have been engaged in the Pacific since, as Nansen Initiative, as we called ourselves back then. We held our first regional consultation in Rarotonga, an event hosted by the government of Cook Islands. And since then we have been engaging with many of you throughout the years, including Fiji, which is a particularly active member of our steering group back in Geneva. Today's event provides us with a great opportunity to deepen this engagement with the South Pacific region. The proposed project, which we are going to implement together with our trusted partners, IDMC, IOM and UNHCR, aims to reduce the risk of being displaced by adverse effects of climate change, but also to better protect those who are actually displaced. What we have heard back then in Rarotonga are the messages that have become part of the Nansen Initiative protection agenda, and which are still our messages today. First, it is important to help people to stay. This is about reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. This is about effective disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation. Second, we need to help those who are at risk of being displaced to move out of harm's way before disaster strikes. Here we're talking about seasonal migration or circular or ultimately permanent migration. We're also talking about, as a measure of last resort, planned relocation. And finally, we need to better protect those who are actually displaced, find solutions for them inside of countries, but maybe also across borders. Not least thanks to the efforts of the Pacific Island states, these messages have become part now of the Global Compact on Migration. They are also part of the recommendations by the Task Force on Displacement under the Warsaw International Mechanism, and the recommendations have been adopted by states. Now the time has come to implement them, to move from words to action. And I very much hope that our project will contribute to these efforts. But in this context, we need your advice. Please help us to shape the project in ways that it has actual positive impacts of communities at risk. Please help us to shape it in a way that it is complementing and supporting other ongoing efforts and not competing with them. And finally, tell us how best to shape the project in ways that also help affected communities to retain their social and cultural identity. Let me conclude by committing to come back personally to your countries, to consult, to discuss with you as the project advances. Binaka Wakaleu, thank you so much.